In this video, you'll see how to combine like terms to simplify expressions. So like terms are terms that have the same variable and the same exponent. And constants are also like terms. So let's take a look at this first expression here. I have 2x plus 7 plus 5x. We would say 2x and 5x are like terms because they have the same variable. Second expression, 3m squared plus 6m plus 2m squared plus 3m. They all have an m, but they're not all like terms. 3m squared would be a like term with 2m squared because they both have an exponent of 2. And then 6m and 3m would also be like terms, but not like terms with the other two terms. What are the like terms in the third expression? If you said 2n and 5n, you are correct because they have the same variable. Now let's see a model for what this would look like. I have 2y plus 4 plus y plus 3x plus 1. I want to see what my like terms are. Well, first off, 2y, the way I would model that, by putting two of those orange bars that each represent a y. I've got 4 units, that represents my 4, another orange bar for that plus y, 3 green x bars to represent 3x, and finally at the end, I've got my plus 1 there. But when I look at this expression, I notice that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terms, and I want to simplify it. I want to make it look easier to read. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to combine my like terms. So those bars that are the same, the ones that have the same variable, those are my like terms. My constants are also like terms, so I'm going to bring those together. And now, what do I have when I combine all my like terms? I've got 3 y's all together. I've got 5 units all together. And I've got those 3 x's still together. I went from 5 terms to 3 terms. Now notice, I cannot combine anything else. So this is my simplified expression. There's nothing else I can do with it. Let's look at another one here. I've got 2y plus 1 plus 2x plus y minus 3x minus 1. So I want to combine my like terms here. I can get my y's all together. And then I can get my constants together. Notice I have a plus 1 and then it says minus 1. So if it's minus 1, I'm going to use that red units to show that it's a negative 1. And then minus 3x. Notice again, it's subtracting 3x, so I'm going to get 3 of the red bars that represent an x. And now what happens when I combine these like terms? Well, first, I've got 3 y's all together. I could write that. Then notice 1 and negative 1. That's a 0 pair. These zero out. Likewise, I've got 2 green x's and 3 red x's. Well, 2 of the green will zero out 2 of the red, leaving me only with a minus x. So I went from having 6 terms to only having 2 terms. That expression, the long one up at the top, is just equal to 3y minus x. It's a lot easier to see it that way. Now let's look at what happens when we have exponents. 2x squared, and x squared is represented by this big blue x, plus 3x, so I've got 3 of those green bars, minus x squared, so I've got now the red square, and then plus 2x. I want to combine like terms. I'm going to bring my x squareds together, and I'm going to bring my green x's all together. Well, what do I get when I combine these like terms? These two x squareds, a positive x squared and a negative x squared, will zero out. So I am left with 1x squared, which I could just write as x squared, plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus 5 x's. Now x squared and 5x are unlike terms. I cannot add them together. So this is my simplified answer. I went from having 4 terms to just 2 terms. And one thing to notice, before we move on to the next ones, do you notice what we're doing when we're combining like terms? I'm using these coefficients. 3x plus 2x, that's giving me 5x. 2x squared, there's the understood 1 that's in front of this minus x squared. So 2x squared, so 2 minus 1, that just gives me 1. So 2x squared minus 1x squared, just x squared. All right, let's see this without the tiles now. I've got 5x squared minus 3x minus 7x plus 6x squared. I want to combine my like terms. So here's what we would like you to do. Find the like terms and highlight them, circle them, somehow show which ones are like terms, but also make sure you grab the sign that comes in front of each term. So 5x squared plus 6x squared, those are like terms. This is minus 3x, minus 7x. Those are two like terms. So now I want to combine my like terms. 5x squared, and this is where it helps to have that sign, plus 6x squared. That is 11x squared. Remember, I'm adding those coefficients. Now let's look at the green part here. You could read this as negative 3x minus 7x. Well, what do I get when I do negative 3 minus 7? That's negative 10. So I'm going to write this as minus 10x. And notice I put the minus sign there again because negative 3 minus 7 is negative 10. If I had a positive answer there, then I would put a plus sign between the two of them. All right, let's take a look at another example. I want to identify these like terms and the signs in front of each. So I see 3m here. I'm just going to start with these m's. What's a like term with 3m? Well, this 5m has an m, but I have to make sure to grab the sign that's in front. And then 6c, but grab the plus sign that's in front of the 6c. 8c, grab the minus sign in front of the 8c. And 10c, grab that plus sign in front of the 10c. I'm going to start by combining my m's. You could start by combining your c's. It makes no difference which one you start with. I've got 3m, and now I see the sign in front of that 5m, 3m minus 5m. That's negative 2m, because 3 minus 5 is negative 2. My variable stays the same there. I have a plus 6c, so a positive 6c. Positive 6c minus 8c, that is negative 2c. But then I need to add 10c to that. That becomes a positive 8c. Because it's a positive 8c, I'm going to put a plus sign in front of it. So I went from having 5 terms down to 2 expressions are equal to each other.